Welcome to Carol and Gary's See America Tour. Hello again, everyone. After another uneventful drive 2 hours north on Interstate 5, Carol, Jasper, and I are now in Bellingham, Washington. See how close this puts us to Canada? MapQuest says that this is 20.2 miles to the border. When I googled things to see and do in Bellingham, which is the way most of our travel starts out, Google ranked Whatcom Falls Park as the #1 thing to do in Bellingham. So the first thing we did in Bellingham was visit Whatcom Falls Park. Whatcom Falls Park is a 241-acre park within Bellingham city limits that Google says has 4 sets of waterfalls and several miles of well-maintained walking trails. Whatcom Falls Park was a quiet, well-maintained park that was easy to walk. This is the first waterfall that we saw, near the fish hatchery. It wasn't very big, maybe 10 feet tall. This was the second waterfall that we saw. We can only assume that this was waterfall number 3. We never did find number 4. As we walked around, we saw beautiful greenery. With this area's abundance of rain, it's easy to see why everything is so green up here. We encountered a few stairs on the trail, but nothing unmanageable. We even found a board growing into a tree. It has apparently been there for many years. We found this section of railroad track that may have been used as part of the trail at one time, but it is collapsing, so they've blocked it off so no one gets hurt. There are several small islands off the western coast of Washington in Puget Sound. Several of these islands are accessible by ferry boat, but only Lummi Island is accessible by ferry boat from Bellingham. Lummi Island is 9 square miles and has a population of 816. It is a 5-minute boat ride from Bellingham to Lummi Island. The Lummi Indians use one end of this island, but is not accessible by car. The Lummi Indians are the 3rd largest tribe in Washington with over 5,000 members. The Lummi Indians also have a large presence in Bellingham, including a school and a casino. Here is our approach to Lummi Island on the ferry. The ferry holds up to 22 vehicles. There isn't much to do on Lummi Island unless you are a resident. It's quiet there and they seem to want to keep it that way. A small grocery store, a cafe, a post office, and several small bed and breakfasts make up most of the businesses near the ferryboat dock. A narrow two-lane road goes around the island. We saw several deer while driving around. Most beach access roads are marked as private or for residents only, but we did find a place to pull over and walk down a steep bank to the water. As you might suspect, life here is very laid back. Here is some wood that washed up on the beach. When we arrived back at the ferry loading dock, the ferry had just arrived from Bellingham, so we watched as the arriving vehicles unloaded, then we drove onto the ferry for the return trip. When we arrived back at the Bellingham dock, the deckhands quickly unloaded everyone. On Saturday, Carol and I visited the Electronics Inventions Museum in Bellingham. With a degree in electronics, I was hoping for an enjoyable tour, and I was not disappointed. This is a plasma ball, sometimes called a plasma globe, lamp, dome, or sphere. Plasma is hot ionized gas. With a high voltage electrode at its center, plasma filaments extend from the filament to the glass. When you touch the glass, because of the body's conductive properties, you create a discharge path with less resistance than surrounding glass and gases. This is a player piano. A roll of paper with holes punched in it is installed in the piano. Then the holes direct which keys are played to create music. A separate roll of paper is used for each song. Thomas Edison didn't invent electricity or the light bulb, but he did discover that a tungsten filament created a brighter, longer-lasting light bulb. This is one of the light bulbs created by Thomas Edison. Only 2 others are known to exist today. Notice that you can see the filament on this bulb has been broken. This is a telegraph machine. It was used before telephones to send Morse code messages across the United States. By pressing down here, it would send an electronic signal across wires to another place many miles away. An identical machine at the distant end would receive a click sound on their machine. The entire alphabet, including numbers, could be sent as a series of long and short clicks that would be received and interpreted by the far end. This equipment was not used in the home, but rather in an office of the town because both the sender and the receiver had to be proficient with Morse code. After telephones became more common, a phone similar to this one was installed in homes. With this phone, you turn this crank on the side to alert an operator. The operator would be sitting at a console similar to this one. The operator would then connect the calling person to another person. I still remember our family's first phone number on the farm, 10F22. The 22 at the end of the number meant that the operator would make our phone ring 2 long rings followed by 2 short rings, indicating that someone wanted to talk to us. A few years later, we went to a rotary-style phone, which meant that you could call somebody directly without an operator's assistance. Well, this video is going longer than expected, so I'm going to stop here so I can get it edited and uploaded. Bellingham is our last official stop in the state of Washington. Washington is the 23rd state that Carol and I have visited together. We will be leaving early on Monday, but as pointed out by Google in February, it is 582 miles to our next state, so I'm going to stop overnight in Kennewick, Washington, just to break up the long drive. If you like this video but have not yet subscribed, please do so to be notified of future videos, and as always, feel free to share with your friends. Thanks for watching.